Hello dear students, welcome again to this new online lesson, which is going to be about, as you see in the title, can you live without it? Okay, so basically here we are going to talk about mobile phone. So the lesson is going to be divided into three main parts. Okay, vocabulary section, speaking and listening, or speak and listen, and speak and write. Okay. So, last lesson, as we said in Unit 5, first part, vocabulary. Okay, so when we are talking about vocabulary, we basically talk about words, right? So the meaning of the words, how can we use them, for example, in a specific context. But today in this section, we are going to see how to form, okay, new vocabulary from certain words, right? Let's have a look. For example, read the examples below. What's the difference between useful and useless, right? The examples. This book is very useful. I learned a lot about cooking from it. My new mobile phone is useless. It never works when I need it, right? So as you say, or as you see, useful, useless, both of them are derived from the same word, which is use. Okay, so useful, useless, both of them are adjectives, right? They describe the noun. They come immediately after it. Okay, phone is useless, book is useful, right? Use. But when we add this kind of word that we call it suffix, right? Full, okay, it has a very different or a very new meaning, right? Let's see here. Notes. A lot of adjectives are formed by adding a suffix, okay? As we said, it is a suffix. And this process by which we make a new word by adding a suffix, we call it the process of affixation, right? So, adding a suffix, full and less. Okay, but what is the meaning of full and less? Okay, to a verb or a noun, the suffix less means without it, right? The suffix less means without it. Full means the opposite, right? Okay, so let's have some kind of practice. Complete the correct form of the words in capitals, right? So we have some certain words here. Harm, okay, to affect something negatively, right? For example, to harm your health, okay, to affect something in a bad way. Help, okay, we know it. Care, beauty, harm, help, right? So what you are going to do is that to try to read the sentences and form a new word that you think it can suit the place, right? By adding a kind of affixation, right? Or a kind of affixes. So please guys, when you finish, take your workbook, page 55, and it's gonna be the same exercise, right? Same words, read the sentences and try to put it in the right form, right? By adding some kind of suffixes, right? So please, when you finish this exercise again, try to go back to your student's book, speak and listen, and let's see this exercise, right? So we have read the statements from A to E, right? Below and discuss. Okay? Do you agree with them? Why? Why not? Give reasons using the phrases in the box, right? Let's take an example. Okay? So we have a kind of tip to discuss. Basically, this kind of activity requires 2 students, right? Since we are not in the classroom, so let's do it as a kind of writing or written task, right? For example, let's take the first statement. Television has got more advantages than disadvantages, right? So try to give your opinion about this sentence using the script or the tip of communication below and using one of the phrases in the box, right? For example, in my opinion, television, right? Television has got more advantages than disadvantages because, and you are going to justify with one of these phrases, right? For example, it has got more advantages than disadvantages because it contains educational programs, right? So try to do the same. All the sentences, give your opinion about them. And let's move to the second task, right? Now we're going to have a kind of a listening audio, right? You have listened to 4 people talking about television and match the names with one of the statements from A to E above, right? For example, we have Kathy, Ben, John, and Carla. You are going to match them with the statements that we have here, okay? Which one is going to be A, B, C, D, and E, right? There is one extra statement which you do not need to use, right? So basically we have here 4 and here we have 5, okay? So one of them is kind of additionally we're not going to need it, right? So here we go. Let's listen and do the activity.
5E. Can you live without it? 2. Speak and listen. B. Listen to 4 people talking about television and match the names with one of the statements A to E above. There is one extra statement which you do not need to use. Kathy.
I don't understand why people always talk about the disadvantages of television and forget about the advantages. We learn about events that are happening at the moment on the other side of the world. We see live broadcasting, live sports events, and so on. Okay, there's also the internet, but not everyone has access. So I don't think we can say that television is useless nowadays.
Ben.
Personally, I believe that parents shouldn't allow their kids to watch any TV at all, or at least let them watch very little. Most of the programs are of low quality, and there aren't enough educational ones. Watching TV is a waste of time, and it makes children lazy couch potatoes. They just sit around doing nothing, when they should be outside playing a sport or something and communicating with other people their age.
John.
My parents say that I watch too much and that I'm addicted, but I disagree. I choose what I watch. Some of my friends turn on the TV and forget to turn it off. I'm not like that. Also, they like watching commercials, which is something I hate. They're all lies and there are too many of them. But they do their job. You won't believe how many products my friends buy because they see them on TV and feel they need them.
Carla.
I'm a mother of 4 children, and I encourage them to go out and play a lot. However, I find TV quite useful sometimes. For instance, it cost our family £36 to watch a film at the cinema. Now, that's too much for us. We just wait and get the DVD or watch something on TV instead. Not everything shown is suitable for all ages, but there are quite a few game shows or educational programs like documentaries we watch.
So, in the audio, or as you have been listening to as information in the audio, so all the 4 people have been given advantages and disadvantages of TV, right, or television. Okay, so they give they state that it is bad or it is good. Then they start to give reasons, right? So this is a way by which you can argue for your opinion about something, right? If you think it is bad, you can give its advantage its disadvantages. If you think it's good, you start giving its advantages, right? So this is one way to do it. So when you finish, please doing the listening activity, try to pick up again your workbook, exercise B. Try to circle the correct words, right? Avoid, interrupt, right? To avoid something, to interrupt something from doing something, okay? Exchange, carry, okay? It's like take, to take something, to grab something, to carry something. Influence, it's closely like impact, to impact or to influence something, to have an effect or an impact on something. Quality, okay, something that has got quality. Careless, okay, care, without care. Okay, we said less is that to make something hasn't got the feature of the word, right? Care, careless means do not care, okay, or something that doesn't care. Wisely, okay, wise is something okay, or it's against stupid, let's say. Wise or innocent, right? Against innocent. Addicted, for example, to be addicted to video games, okay, or something that you do it more than you should do. Suitable, okay, suitable, something that suits something, okay. Gadget, okay, we know gadget or kind of tools, okay, tools or something, or device, okay. It's a kind of old word that we used to say to a device, right? Commercial, okay, something that is commercial. Emergency and advantage, right? So try to circle the correct words and let's move to something else, right? So when you finish, please go back again to your student's book, okay? Take this activity, read the essay below and compare the ideas to your answers, then answer the questions, right? So basically we have got some kind of activity that we should do it in group, okay, so it's kind of discussion, right? Try to answer this question between you and yourself, and try to compare it with this essay, right? So today we are going to have a look at a new mechanism of writing, okay, which is essay, right? What is an essay? So basically we had a look at one kind of writing mechanism, which is paragraph writing. So now we are going to have a look at an essay, right? What is an essay? Essay simply means a format of writing that contains more than one paragraph, right? So as you see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, right? And each one of these paragraphs contains one of developed ideas, right? And all of them, okay, all of them serves one specific idea, right? For example, you can find this talk about a different idea and this another different idea and so on, but all of them, okay, serve one idea, which is advantages and disadvantages of mobile phones, right? So let's read, right, and we'll see how to write one of these one like this essay, right? So we have nowadays a great number of people use mobile phones. Some cannot imagine living without them, while others believe that we should avoid using them, right? So we call this an introductory paragraph, right? So let's move to the body. Body, we have 2 paragraphs, right? So basically one of them is going to talk about advantages of using mobile phones, and one of them is going to talk about disadvantages, right? So having a mobile phone has many advantages. Firstly, you carry it everywhere, so communication is easy. Even in emergency situations. What is more, you can use your phone or your mobile to take or exchange pictures, listen to music, play games, surf the internet, download ringtones, and so on, right? So this paragraph apparently talked about advantages, right? Since it talks about the good parts or the good sides of using a mobile phone, right? So let's have a look at the second part, which is the disadvantages of mobile phone, right? On the other hand, okay, so on the one hand, when we say on the other hand, we say, okay, in contrary, right? In the contrary side, right? Or in the opposite side, right? There are also many disadvantages. To begin with, mobile phone or mobiles can be harmful to our health when used a lot. In addition, children, teenagers, and even adults can get addicted to them. This can cause many problems. For example, lessons are interrupted at school, or car accidents are caused, right? So basically here we saw many disadvantages of this of using mobile phones. I'm sorry, of using mobile phones, and we support our idea by some of the statements like it interrupts at school, okay, it caused accidents, okay, people get addicted to it, okay. So these are some ideas that by which you support your idea, you make it like clear and good to hear, right? Last paragraph to sum up, okay. So this paragraph, we call it a conclusion paragraph, right? So to sum up, mobile phones have both advantages and disadvantages. Personally, I believe it is a very useful gadget, right? Gadgets, or we call it a device, right? Gadgets is an old word to call a device, right? However, people should use it wisely, okay, not stupidly, okay? So As you see here, the essay, okay, as we said, it's a group of paragraphs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs that are separated, okay, from each other, but still they develop the main idea, which is advantages and disadvantages, right? But how to write each paragraph on its own? Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, first we're going to get back to these questions, but I would like you to have a look here. Read the plan below. Okay, when you're writing an essay discussing advantages and disadvantages, organize your ideas according to the plan below. Write in a formal style. Okay, formal style. What is a formal style? Formal style simply means is to write the word fully. Okay, for example, don't write your, but write you are. Okay, for example, here this is an informal style. You have to write you are. Okay, this is the way to write write formally. Do not use short forms, okay, like this, short forms or abbreviations. Okay, you write words fully, okay, in a full form. Okay, so we have here the introduction. Introduction contains, okay, introduces the subject of the essay and both sides of the topics, right? For example, here we have nowadays number of people use mobile phone. Some cannot imagine living without it, while others believe that we should avoid using them. So here we state the two parts of this essay, okay? And we have the main part, 2 paragraphs, which is the body. Present the advantages in 1 paragraph and the disadvantages in another paragraph. Cover both sides of the topics equally. Okay, means you have the 2 paragraphs should be both in an equal size, right? You do not have to write 1 paragraph bigger than the other paragraph. Okay, both of them have to appear in one size, right? Use linking words and phrases. Okay, basically, firstly, first, second to begin with, thirdly. Okay, we saw this word. You have been introduced when you were writing paragraphs. Okay, so you are familiar with this. And here, some kind of new words to express contrasts, right? For example, when you have 2 contrastive ideas, 2 ideas that are not the same, right? However, okay, you can use this word on one hand, on the other hand, right? For example, on one hand, you can describe the advantages. On the other hand, you start to describe the disadvantages, right? So in one hand, on the other hand, right? Conclusion. Make a general statement. Use phrases like in conclusion to sum up. Okay, so basically you know these words. You've been introduced to them. And state your opinion, which is the most important thing in this paragraph. Okay, is that to show your opinion, okay, your possession. Okay, for example, here in this paragraph, to sum up, right, or to conclude, mobile phones have both advantages and disadvantages. Personally, okay, personally, it's your opinion or her opinion, the writer of this essay, I believe it is very useful gadget. However, in contrast, people should use it wisely, right? So this is the opinion of the writer of this essay. So please, when you finish here, I would like you to go back to these questions, try to answer them, and we're going to move to the big part of this lesson, which is writing an essay, right? Before, we need to have a practice on one of the important aspects of writing an essay, which is the formal style, right? So we have some kind of 3 phrases in bold. All of them are an informal style. Okay, for example, this statement, which is oh and something else, right? See, so this statement shows a kind of addition. Computers can help people organize their work so they can work faster. Okay, what kind of word do you think that you can add it here so that it becomes in a formal style, right? But, which is informally used. So think of a word that you can put it in its place so that it becomes in a formal style. Now, thinking about all these things, okay, so this is a kind of huge statement and it is like a slang expression. Okay, thinking about all of these things, so it's a very informal style. So think of a word and put it instead of it so that it can convey a formal meaning, right? Then when you finish, okay, so this is the main part of our lesson. So write an essay discussing the advantages and the disadvantages of watching TV, right? Don't discuss the TV itself. Discuss watching TV, right? Use the ideas in activity 2 and follow the plan above, right? So as we saw in both in this plan and in this sample of writing, try to write an essay, okay, of 4 paragraphs, introduction, 2 paragraphs of the body and 1 paragraph of conclusion, so that you discuss the disadvantages and advantages of watching TV, right? We have a tip of writing here. Okay, before you start, choose a few advantages and disadvantages, the ones you have the most to say about, and make some notes. Avoid discussing too many ideas in your essay, right? So, shortly saying, try to select the ideas that you are going to talk about in the 2 paragraphs, then start writing, okay? So, we still have one, okay? One activity. We have completed the blanks with the word, with 1 word, okay? You are going to read this kind of essay. Guess the word, okay, that it is missing in this, okay, places, then put it there. So it's all for today, okay? I hope everything is clear for you. So thank you so much for being very active listeners. See you next time.